In the year 222 AD, a young emperor was thrown into a river. His body wasn't given a royal burial, no funeral ceremonies, no respect. He was simply erased from history. And you know what? He deserved it. Because in just 4 years, this teenager single-handedly destroyed the greatest empire the world had ever known. His name was Elagabalus. And this is the story of how one person's insanity brought down Rome itself. This isn't just another story about a crazy ruler. This is about how civilization collapses when one person loses their mind. It's about an empire that controlled 70 million people, brought to its knees by a teenager who preferred wine over water. The historians didn't believe this story at first. They thought it was exaggerated, too insane to be real. But then they found the ancient records, and everything was worse than they imagined. So buckle up, because the next 10 minutes will change how you see power, greed, and the fragility of empires. Let's dive into the madness of Elagabalus. Year 203 AD, Rome is at its peak. An empire that commands the entire known world. Gold is pouring in from Egypt, India, Africa, and beyond. The royal treasury is overflowing with millions of denarii. But on this day, a baby boy is born. His name, Sextius Varius Avitus. Nobody knows his name yet. Nobody knows he will change everything. His mother, Julia Maesa, was one of the most powerful women in Rome. Her family didn't just have money, they had power, political connections that reached every corner of the empire. His grandfather controlled wealth that rivaled entire nations. And when this boy turned 14, everything changed overnight. The Roman army, the entire military, selected him to become emperor. Not because of bloodline, not because he was wise, not because he deserved it, but because his mother was smart enough to manipulate the politics. This kid, 14 years old, suddenly ruled 70 million people. He commanded armies. He controlled the entire world's wealth. He had absolute power, complete authority, and absolutely no self-control. What happened next would shock historians for centuries. His first day as emperor. The crowds expected a royal speech, a military parade, a traditional coronation. But the teenage emperor had different plans. He commanded his servants, "Bring me the most luxurious food in existence, the rarest delicacies, the most expensive banquets ever created." In just 1 year, he spent 2.7 billion sestertii. That's the entire military budget. For 1 year of parties. And these weren't normal parties. Every single feast had 22 courses. 22, not 22 normal dishes. 22 of the rarest, most expensive foods ever assembled. First course, flamingo tongues. Second, ostrich brains. Sixth, camel rumps. Seventh, fish from the Red Sea that required 3-month journeys to obtain. And then, the insanity escalated. Course 15, white rice mixed with real pearls. He wasn't just eating, he was eating jewels. Course 18, green peas mixed with actual gold pieces, literally consuming precious metal. Think about it for a second. You're a Roman soldier. You fight on the borders. You protect the empire. Your entire annual salary equals 1 meal of the emperor. You're bleeding for Rome. He's eating gold. But the food wasn't even the craziest part. Because then he decided to host a naval battle, a traditional nomachia, a fake war on water. Roman emperors loved these events. Soldiers would fight on floating platforms. It was entertainment. It was spectacle. It was grand. But Elagabalus said, "Normal isn't good enough for me." So he ordered his builders to do the unthinkable, fill an entire lake with Falernian wine. Not water, wine. The most expensive wine in the ancient world. Soldiers in full armor had to swim and fight in an ocean of wine. Some drowned because the wine-soaked armor was too heavy. Some got drunk and forgot they were fighting. And the emperor sat on his throne, watching the chaos, laughing. This single event cost 1 million sestertii, all for 2 hours of entertainment. But wait, it gets worse. Here's where reality hits hard. The royal treasury had a limit, and Elagabalus smashed through it like it was paper. Soldiers stationed at the borders weren't getting paid. Remote provinces weren't receiving funds. Citizens in Rome were starving. There was a food shortage while the emperor ate peacocks. The treasury that had taken centuries to build was being emptied in months. The Senate started to rebel. The generals looked at each other with disgust. The military legions were becoming furious. For the first time in 200 years, the Roman Empire was cracking, and from that crack, something sinister was growing. A conspiracy, an alliance, a plan to end this madness, because nobody could predict what would happen next. In his most insane moment yet, the emperor decided to throw one final party, a party so massive, so expensive, that it would enter history as the most decadent event ever recorded. He ordered his servants to shower the crowds with gold and silver, not coins dropped from a balcony, massive ingots of pure gold, 500,000 sestertii worth of precious metals, thrown into the streets like pebbles. Thousands of desperate people rushed forward. They clawed at each other, they screamed, they trampled one another. People were crushed to death for gold. And the emperor watched from his throne, smiling, laughing, actually enjoying watching people die for his amusement. The Senate members walked out of the arena in disgust. The generals turned to each other and nodded. They all knew what had to happen. They all understood the empire couldn't survive another day of this. That night, in secret chambers, they made their decision. They summoned the Praetorian Guard, the emperor's personal soldiers, and they gave them their orders. It ends tonight. The empire is saved tonight, or it dies with him. The coup happened fast. The Praetorian Guard stormed the palace. The teenage emperor tried to run with his mother, but there was nowhere to hide. Soldiers surrounded them on all sides. The emperor begged for mercy. His mother tried to shield him, but the guard had their orders, and within minutes, it was over. The blades fell. The screams echoed through the palace. But the truly shocking part came after. The emperor's body wasn't given a royal burial. No funeral rites, no ceremonies, no respect for his position. Instead, the soldiers dragged his corpse through the streets, kicked it, humiliated it, and then they threw it into the Tiber River, the sacred river that flowed through Rome. For a 14-year-old boy who once ruled the world, the final insult was being erased, forgotten, discarded like trash. But the saddest part, he was only 18 years old. 18. He never got to experience a real life, never achieved anything meaningful. Just 4 years of madness and then nothing. So what's the real lesson here? It's not just about a crazy emperor who spent too much money. It's about something far more profound. The Roman Empire, the greatest military power ever assembled, controlling 70 million people across 3 continents, was brought to its knees by one person. One teenager with no wisdom, no compassion, no understanding of consequences. What does that tell us? It tells us that no system is stronger than the people who run it. No empire is too big to fail. No power is absolute if the wrong person wields it. Elagabalus didn't use swords to destroy Rome. He simply chose greed over duty, entertainment over responsibility, luxury over people, and the empire crumbled because of it. 1800 years later, we see the same pattern happening again. Look around at our world today. Leaders choosing personal wealth over the nation, the cycle repeating itself. History doesn't always repeat exactly, but it definitely rhymes. And if we don't learn from Elagabalus, we might be doomed to repeat his mistakes on a much larger scale. If this story fascinated you, and you want to discover other lost empires, hidden treasures worth billions of dollars, and rulers even crazier than Elagabalus, then hit that subscribe button right now, because next week we're uncovering a treasure that disappeared 500 years ago. $3 billion in gold and jewels, and it's still out there somewhere, waiting, lost, calling to be found. You won't believe what we discovered about its location. So please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Drop a like if you think Elagabalus was the craziest emperor in history. And tell me in the comments, who do you think was worse? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.